Hello, my name is Paul Wheatcraft, and I'm one of the instructors here at PCC who teaches BA131. This week we're covering Chapter 5, which deals with how do businesses handle all the data, the immense amounts of data that's out there. How can we use technology to process that in a way that we can have access to it and make it into useful information for making business decisions. I like how the author starts out by stating in the intro that managing any organization, large or small, means keeping records. And I think that's really important to understand that this chapter is appropriate to all businesses, not just huge mega corporations. There's just so much information and data that we have to keep track of. For example, financial. We've got to keep track of things for taxes, our accounts receivable, reports that we generate to investors. It goes on and on. There's a lot of financial record keeping. And then there's a lot of regulatory requirements, reports that we have to provide and submit to the government. HR has a lot of information to keep track of. And it's not just when the employee was hired, what their salary is, but it includes other things that may not be necessarily associated to the current job they have. For example, the company I was at, I needed to have a document translated from Portuguese. Wouldn't it have been nice if I could have gone to HR and said, do we have anyone in the organization who speaks Portuguese so that I can have them take a look at this with me? And then there's other things about our daily business activities that we need to have access to. For example, looking at profitability. How do you know when it's time to obsolete a product, to give, end of life? You have to know how much it's costing you to make, what's the quality on it, all kinds of bits of information so that as a product manager, you can make a good decision about whether or not you should continue with that product or product line. This chapter has 5 major parts to it. It starts out with a discussion of why information systems are so important in organizations. And then it looks at specifically the issues in HR, the type of information they have to deal with. And then supply chain management. And boy, is this so important, as we've seen with COVID-19. There have been a number of challenges keeping up with demand. And when we had a supply chain that existed all around the world with products coming from China and other parts of the world, and how can you manage that so that when you have a change in your planned, forecasted demand, that you can react to it? You go into the grocery stores, there's some items that are not on the shelves, that they have not been able to produce the amount of product that the people want. And then customer relationship management. I love the R in this, relationship. It's so easy, especially with big, large corporations, for our customers to feel like just a number. We're not a real person to them. And so anything we can do, leverage technology to help us do a better job of treating our customers like people. That's really important. And there are some powerful tools out there that can help us do just that. And then the last section deals with enterprise resource planning. When you see the word enterprise, it always means it's something that goes across all segments of your business. So engineering, production, sales, purchasing, warehouse, all functions are covered by this. To be successful in today's economy, it's really important that all aspects of our business take advantage of the same data set, the same tools. And that's where ERP comes in. It can really help us. But ERP is very complicated. It's expensive, and it takes time to implement. And if you're not careful, if you don't do a good job of your implementation, it can severely cripple your company or even drive your company into bankruptcy. So very important topic. The activities for this week consist of, obviously, you need to read chapter 5. There's a lot of good material in there, and we won't necessarily hit on every topic on the course website. So it's important you read the chapter for yourself. Then there's a couple of supplemental videos that further expand on what the supply chain and CRM, what those topics are and what some of the issues are. Then take the chapter 5 quiz. Should be simple. You should sail right through it. If you've read the chapter, no difficult, challenging questions. As long as you've read the material, you'll do great. And then the assignment is actually one of my favorite assignments. As I mentioned earlier, there have been a number of really big companies who have completely failed when it came to their ERP implementation. And so for this assignment, you get to research and look into what did they do wrong? Let's learn from their mistakes so that we don't make the same mistakes in our own companies. And so that's chapter 5, a really interesting chapter. I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoy teaching it every term.